Are you looking for affordable Christmas gift ideas? Maybe you're looking for items to sell at your craft fair. Hi everyone, it's Sherry. I hope that you are having a wonderful day. I have a good one. Stay tuned. Welcome to my channel, friends. Thank you so much for being here today. I truly appreciate it. For some of us, budgets are tight and we're watching our spending very closely, but we still want to be able to give great gifts. And this is one of those videos that's really going to help you because we're going to take a Dollar Tree item and really dress it up and make it something worthy of gift giving or craft fair selling. I am going to flip to my overhead camera to show you exactly what I'm talking about. So y'all, here is one of the gifts you might want to add to your list if you're looking for ways to save money during the Christmas gift giving season. So what I hope to do in this video is give you an idea of how you too can make inexpensive items like this. Shop for papers when they're on sale. Buy notepads where there are multiple pads in the pack and you get more out of them. And y'all know that we do a lot of notepads on the channel. And you know why? Because they're very popular. You guys love seeing the different looks because it gives you different ideas of ways that you can do your notepads. And this one will not disappoint. When finished, this is 6 by 8.5 with a 1-inch spine. I'm going to open it so that you can see the inside. This is a Dollar Tree notepad. And over here, I have some cut aparts that I've tucked in this little pocket here. And then we do have this nice accordion fold out. So this is yet another idea of a way that you can make your notepads more unique. The more unique they are, especially if you're doing a craft fair, the more likely they are to catch the eye. This is one of those professional items that you would see in a boutique. So let's make it. So y'all, here's a closer look at the sweet notebooks that I found at the Dollar Tree. They come packaged 2 to a pack. And y'all, they are approximately 5 3/4 by 8. I'm not sure how many pages you get in here. I would guess it's about 50. And they're lined. And these are just so cute. I am going to be using one of these. I have 5.5 by 4.5 envelopes. You can use whatever size you want, but I would not exceed the size of the book I choose to use. Then I have some chipboard pieces. We have 2 that are 6 by 8.5. And then I have one that is 1 by 8.5. Then I have some decorative paper. I have a sheet that is 10.5 by 12 and a sheet that is 6 by 10.5. Then for the liner, I have a piece that is 12 by 12, but I will be cutting that down. And this is that beautiful linen paper that's included with the Park Lane Country Home Collection. This I got from Ollie's for $1.99. I had it in that haul that I shared with you. Wonderful paper pad. So if you happen to see these at Ollie's or you see them discounted someplace else, you might want to pick up a pad or two. All right, so I've decided that I want to use this one on our project. I think it's adorable, and I think it plays in very well with these papers. We need to join our 2 pieces together. This one is 6 by 10.5, and we're joining it to a 12 by 10.5. So my tape is 1/2 inch, and I just ran it along the 10.5 inch side. Then I'm going to take this piece, and we're basically going to put it on like this. We will have that seam. And then we're going to take our chipboard pieces and we're going to put them down like this. And so my seam is going to end up being on the back of this one. On this one, it was on the front, but I used these little decorative pieces to cover that. So I am just going to peel away my tape backers. We're going to place these down on our board like this. And y'all, you can probably find really cute decorative notebooks anywhere to make these. Just make sure that you try to keep your costs down so that if you decide to sell them at your craft fair, you can sell them at a nice little profit, because you do want to get paid what your work is worth and what you are worth. You want to make sure that you're not just covering the cost of material. Your time is important too. And your expertise in design is important as well. So I'm going to take my finger blade and we're just going to cut off some of this excess. And we can save that because we'll be able to use that on the inside to make our notepad refillable. And I think that's one thing that I forgot to show you is this is refillable. So we have this band here and we're able to slide in a replacement notebook whenever this one has been emptied. So because I know this paper has a desire to crack, I am going to take my stylus, press it against my chipboard, and just drive it into the paper to work that score just a little bit, especially at the point where I'm going to be doing a fold over. Now this paper is probably still going to crack on me where I do that fold over, but I'll share with you something that I do that helps with that. So I am just going in here and here. And y'all, these two items that I'm making today will be available on my website. So if you're interested, head on out there and grab them. So I'm just going to stand this up, train my paper to fold over, and just miter. Then I'll take some tape, and I can use my tape runner here because these fold over pieces will be sandwiched between the inside liner and the chipboard. So they won't be going anywhere. Let's stand up and fold over. Fold over here. And then I'm just going to start teasing my paper just a little bit, hopefully to loosen it up so that when I do that fold over, if it wants to crack, maybe the crack won't be so bad, but I'm going to hold it here where the seam is and just start closing. And then I'll hold it here and start folding over. And now I'm just going to go in to get everything nice and stuck. And I do think I have just a little bit of cracking, but we're going to take care of that in just a minute. So I'm going to do the same thing here. Here is where the fold is, and I am just going to hold my hand here at this point and go ahead and fold everything else over, and then I'll fold that over. What I was trying to do was really not stress that cracking any more than I needed to. So I don't know if you can see that I have just a little bit of cracking right there. So what I'm going to do is I am just going to push it back just a little bit. I don't know if you can see how I push that paper back a little bit. And I'm going to take that glue. Let's get rid of the excess glue. And then I'm just going to roll this over so that it will stay down. And I'll press it with my fingers, and that really helps to hold everything in place. So if you decide to purchase this online, just know that you do have two little spots where the paper lifted, but I am taking my glue, putting my glue right there. I'll get that glue on that, and then I'll take my finger and just fold that paper back into place, and I'm going to hold it for just a moment. And now at a glance, you really aren't able to see that cracking. So that's one of the ways that I will fix cracking when it happens to my paper. I have other ways too. I'll put some washi tape down, or I might go along the edges and ink. That helps to get rid of some of that white paper that might be showing through. But let's go ahead and place our liner. So I'm going to bring in my piece. And I know that my piece is going to be longer than 12 inches. It's actually about 13 inches long, and it's 8.5 inches tall. So I'm going to reduce this by 1/4 of an inch, and we're going to go ahead and cut this piece at 8.5. I meant to cut this piece at 8 1/4. I said 8 1/2. We're actually going to cut it at 8 1/4. And just like I did with this one, I'm going to use just one piece, this piece, and I'll have a wider edge than I normally would. So I'm going to go ahead and take my tape, and I am going to place my tape to cover this entire piece. So I want to make sure that whoever purchases this, you know exactly how I put it together, so that when you open it, you'll see a wider space than you normally would. So I'm going to peel away my tape backers, and this is actually the back of the book. So I'm going to take this and just lay it down very close to where that mark ended. And then I'm going to take my bone folder and just really go in and work my spine. And then I'll roll it around to this side and do the same thing. I really want to get a nice, clean, crisp stick on my spine. So there is my jacket. I'm just going to loosen this a little bit by rolling it back and forth like this. And so now I'm going to bring this piece in, and we're going to take this piece and we're going to use it as the refillable portion of this. So I'll bring in that book, and I'm going to put this in like that. Then I'm going to fold it over, and when I fold it over, I want to make sure that I leave just a little bit more room. I'm not folding it tight against the book. I'm leaving just a little bit of space, so I'll be able to take that book and slide it in. So I'm going to take my glue while the book is still in, and I'm going to place my glue on like this. Then we're going to take our sweet little book and we're going to put it down. So now that I have my placement, I can slide the book out, and we can just go ahead and work that stick. And while that is drying, I'm going to bring in my 5 envelopes, and I'm going to go ahead and seal them. So now that I have these sealed, I'm going to bring in my trimmer, and I'm going to be trimming them across the bottom, not where I sealed, but across the bottom. And I am going to trim these at 4 1/4 inches. So basically what we're doing is we're opening our envelopes. But again, the part that I sealed is here. So 4 1/4. Do this with all of your envelopes. And you can use as many envelopes as you want. You can tweak that spine however you want. All right, friends, so now that we have these trimmed across the bottom, I am just going to take some glue, and we're going to start putting these together. So I'm going to take my glue, and in the middle, I'm going to do this. Then I'll take this one, and I'm basically going to stack it with this one. Then I'll take some glue, put some glue there, and some glue there. And we can stack these on top of each other. Just make sure that that cut part, the opening part, is all going in the same direction. So now I'm going to bring in my ink and my little finger sponge. And I am just going to go along the edges and the top with that ink. There's not a whole lot you need to do because most of this is about to be covered. I'll go along the bottom too. All right, so when you trim down this piece to make the cover, you're going to have a 6 by 12 inch piece left. We're going to use that 6 by 12 inch piece as the cover for this. I'm going to cut off a piece that is 5 1/2 5 and a piece that is 5 3/4 by 4 1/4. So on that piece that is 5 by 5 1/2, we're going to take it and put it down like this on those envelopes. And I'm just going to do this with a little bit of glue. And I'll take this piece, and when I put it down, I'm going to leave a little border showing at the bottom like that. And we'll get that stuck. We're going to take this piece and we're going to fold it inside of that very first pocket. But in order to get a nice, easy fold, I'm going to take my finger blade and I'm just going to angle this a little bit. That's going to make it go in a lot easier. And because I scored it, I'll be able to take this and just fold it on the inside here, like this. So let me pull this back out. Let's add just a little glue and smush that around with my finger just a little bit. So now we can open it and tuck that in. I'll go over this with my big old spatula to make sure that we have a nice stick. And you can see here at the front how that looks. So now your piece that is 5 3/4 by 4 1/4, we're going to take it, and on the 4 1/4 inch side, let's go ahead and score at 2. Then we're going to take this and fold over, and we will be taking this top and we're going to put the top on like this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and I'll be gluing it to the back. So let me just take some glue. Go ahead and add that glue. Put this on so that that goes over to the front. Get that nice and stuck. And then I am just going to angle this a little bit as well. Like that. Then we can bring our jacket back in, and we're going to take this piece and I am just going to glue it, but I'm not going to glue the whole thing. I'm going to make this a hidden pocket. So we're going to glue along the side and then along the bottom. And I'll take this and we'll put it down right there. Then I need to open it, go into that last pocket and start working that stick, getting everything nice and stuck. Then to add just a little bit of contrast, I am going to bring in some of this paper and I am going to cut it at 5 3/4. And I'm going to cut off a piece that is 3/4 of an inch wide. Now this is that linen paper, so it can unravel. But I think that that adds to the charm. So we're going to put that right there. So I'm just going to take some glue and put a very light coating of glue, not a whole lot. And I'll take this and we're going to put it right there because I want just a little bit of separation. I don't want to cover the whole thing. And I'm just going to take my scissors and go in and trim that out. And then I'll do the same thing over here. So now I want to add a couple of magnets, and these are the 8mm by 1mm magnets. So I'm going to take a magnet. I could have done this before I put that down, but I wasn't even thinking. Put some glue on that magnet, and then I'm going to take it and slide it into that first pocket and put it down. Then I'll take this one and put it down so that it'll find that magnet, and I can fold over and I can see that this is not going to be sticking out. So I'll take a little bit of glue, put it on that magnet, press down to get my position. You can see that glue position. That's where you need to take your magnet and place it. But when you do, make sure you slide it off. And the magnet portion that has glue on it, flip it over and match it with that glue that's there. Now I'm going to take my sweet little book, put my book in like this, and y'all, isn't that adorable? I think that it is. So what I want to do is find a little something for the inside so that that magnet there does not pull up. So I'm just going to take one of these little books that I have, and I'm going to try to find something that I think works. And I'm going to take this one that says blessed, but to make sure that it stays stuck, I'm going to add just a little bit of glue. And I'll take this and we can cover that magnet, and then I'll spread that glue out so that it's not going anywhere. So now we can close this. We'll take this piece and we'll put it right there, making sure that we get it nice and stuck. And y'all, I really do think that this is fabulous. So then what I did is I added this little quote that says, life is beautiful, embrace imperfection. Because life is beautiful, and we should embrace the imperfections of life because we are not perfect. So I am adding cut-aparts to my pockets. So now you can see that we have this beautiful book with accordion pockets that we can add all types of goodies in. I am going to close this. So then I'm going to take this cut-apart that says, what a wonderful day, and I am just going to add it to this little white background. So I'm going to take my tape runner, because this tape runner will hold this. Does very well on paper to paper. And I'm going to put this on like this, and then I'll trim. And then I'm just going to take this and mount it right there. And y'all, I think that this is just so stinking cute. I absolutely love how this dark color just pops on top of this. So when we open it, this is what we have on the inside. We have this nice expandable pocket. And then we have this refillable notepad. Easy peasy like that, but aren't these just delightful? And then I like the look of these on here, so I am going to add just a couple to this, and I think I'm going to put them on like this. Now these are thumbtacks. Sometimes when you get your thumbtacks, you'll have some pieces that don't have the pointed part on them, and I like to save those to use them as decorative elements on projects. So we're going to take this one, and I'm going to show you how, if you don't have any that are already broken, how you can actually break it. So I have my wire nips, and all I do is go in and I just start working it. I bend it back and forth, and then it just pops off. So if you get in there and just flip it, it'll pop right off. I am just going to use a little bit of E6000. So I'll take that E6000, and I'm just going to drop a little dollop right there. And I'll take it, and I'm going to put that one right there. Then I'll do the same thing with this one. get just a little bit of that E6000. I'll take this one and we'll put it right there. So if you have some broken thumbtacks in your pack, go ahead and just take those and save them and use them as decorative elements. You can even use them as centers on flowers. So y'all, there we have another really beautiful idea on how to dress up Dollar Tree notebooks or notebooks from any store that you might get. Go ahead and just take them and get creative. Create little pockets. Create folders. Tuck in some cut aparts or some nice little project life cards to convey a message. And if you're doing craft fairs, y'all, I've been on both sides of the craft fair. I've been a seller and I'm also a buyer when I go to craft fairs. I still do go to them. And it's things like this that will catch my eye because you can look at this and tell that quality went into it. It wasn't rushed. It's well coordinated. And it's made to last. So I hope that you have enjoyed this fun way that we can dress up a Dollar Tree notebook. This is already cute. But then we do this to it, y'all. We are truly taking it to the next level. So if you have enjoyed this video, and I certainly hope you have, please hit that like button. If you're not a subscriber to my channel all day, every day, this is what we do, and this is how we do it. And I would love for today to be the day that you consider subscribing. I'd love to have you. So please hit that subscribe button and make sure you hit the notification bell so that you will know when I upload a new video. As always, my beautiful, handcrafty friends, please be safe, be kind, and be the reason someone smiles today. Happy crafting, and we'll chat later. Bye.